Okay, how do we construct any old rhombus? So this is actually a super easy construction. Just start by drawing any segment AB, anywhere you'd like, as long or as short as you like it to be. So I'm going to let this be my AB. What we've just constructed is we've constructed a diagonal of the rhombus. So then you have to think about what's important about the diagonals of a rhombus. Well, they bisect each other, right? But we don't know where the second diagonal is. So what else do we know about the diagonals? They bisect opposite angles. We don't have opposite angles. But the third and final one we can work with. We know diagonals are going to be perpendicular. How do we construct something perpendicular? Our handy-dandy perpendicular bisector construction. So take your compass. Doesn't matter which point you want to start with. I'm going to start on B. Put your compass point on one of the endpoints. Open it up so it's clearly more than halfway from B to A or A to B. And then draw your nice big arc. Using the exact same setting, flip your compass over and do the reflection from the other point. So now we've created our second diagonal. All right. So there's our second diagonal, and oops, hopefully you guys are a little more careful than me. And what's nice about this is you don't have to do anything else. Because this is a perpendicular bisector, right? And because this is a circle that's intersecting, we have equidistant segments here. And we also have our converse of our perpendicular bisector theorem. If a point's on the perpendicular bisector of, or I shouldn't say the converse, the actual perpendicular bisector theorem, if a point's on the perpendicular bisector of a segment, then it is equidistant to the endpoints of that segment. So I can just go ahead and connect that point from my perpendicular bisector construction to A and also to B, and those would be congruent, right? And then if we do the same thing to the second intersection here, we'd also get congruent lengths. So we can call this point C, we can call this point D, and now we have a rhombus. Be careful, it's not necessarily a square because we don't know all four corners are actually 90, but this will always give us a rhombus. If you want to make this rhombus a little different and you don't want to use these points for some reason, you totally can. All that matters is your diagonal has to be bisected. So if you want, you can say, okay, I want to go all the way out here and mark that off. Then just go ahead and do the exact same marking on the other side. What's important is we have to have this be the midpoint of your diagonal. So you can play around with that if you'd like, but I think the easiest way is to just use the 2 points from that perpendicular bisector because these lengths will be congruent because we're looking at the intersection of our two circles. So that is your rhombus.